गाइस आज हम करेंगे क्या करेंगे अ लेटर टू गॉड इंग्लिश का चैप्टर। कैसे स्टार्ट करूँ? स्टार्ट क्या हैप्पी मूड के लिए क्या करें? श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। अब जो ओम नमः शिवाय सरस्वती माता मैं चालू करूँगा और मैं कैसे पढ़ूँ कि मुझे रिमेंबर और अप टू बोर्ड एग्ज़ाम सीधा। चलो लेट्स गो गाइज। इसमें क्या है? एम्फेथेटिक यानी दुख में साथ देना। एम्पैथेटिक यानी दुख में साथ देना। गुडविल इंक पेपर मनी एम्पैथेटिक। हौसला है। चलो स्टार्ट करो। The house, the only one in the entire valley, set on the crest of a low hill. From the height one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. The only thing that the earth needed was a downpour or at least a shower. With the flowers that always promised a good harvest. The house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill, through which one can see the flowers dotted with the field of ripe corn dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. इसका डायग्राम एक ये फील्ड है यहाँ पर और उसका घर है यहाँ लो हिल। ओनली वन द हाउस ओनली वन इन द एंटायर वैली है तो ये ऐसे खड्डा बनेगा। सेट ऑन द क्रेस्ट ऑफ लो हिल। क्रेस्ट यानी यहाँ पर लो हिल। यहाँ से ये देखेगा तो उसे देखेंगे राइप कॉर्न डॉटेड विद कॉर्न फील्ड डॉटेड विद फ्लावर। Crest of a low hill could see the river and the ripe corn dotted in the fields of ripe corn dotted with flowers. River and ripe corn, field of ripe corn dotted with flowers that always promised a good harvest. The only thing that the earth needed was a downpour or at least a shower. Throughout the morning, Lancho, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. Lancho का ये मुंडा रहा। Drought from the northeast। इसमें क्या पढ़ा हमने कि उसका घर एक ट्रस्ट के ऊपर पड़ा है लो हिल के ऊपर जहाँ पर वो अकेला है। उसके ऊपर से वो देख सकता है राइप कॉर्न फील्ड को जिसमें फ्लावर्स लगे हुए जगह जगह पर और रिवर्स देख सकता है उसको। द फील्ड्स एंड द लैंड हु इंटीमेटली had known that the had seen the clouds, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. बस स्काई को देखना, स्काई टुवर्ड्स द नॉर्थ ईस्ट. दो डायग्राम बने. Now we are really going to get some water woman. The woman who was preparing supper replied, "Yes, God willing." Now we are really getting to get some water woman. The woman who was preparing, who said this line. लैंचो ने कही है यार ये लाइन. तो लैंचो ने कही कि वी आर गोइंग टू गेट सम वाटर वुमेन. द वुमेन हु वाज प्रिपेयरिंग सपर रिप्लाइड, यस गॉड विलिंग. द ओल्डर बॉयज वर वर्किंग इन द फील्ड while the smaller ones were playing near the home, until the woman called to them, "Come for dinner." It was during the meal that the woman who was preparing supper replied, "Yes, God willing." The older boys were working in the field. The older boys were working in the field. Older boys. Smaller plane. Was during the meal that इस पन्ने में हमने पढ़ा कि लंचो का घर क्रेस्ट ऑफ लो हिल पर है. वो यहाँ से देख सकता है. राइप कॉर्न फील्ड्स डॉटेड विद फ्लावर्स एंड द रिवर and उसको बारिश मिल रही. स्काई टुवर्ड्स द नॉर्थ ईस्ट intimately had done nothing but to see the sky towards the northeast. The woman, now we are really going to get some water, Lenzo said to the woman. Woman replied that, "Yes, God willing." The younger boys were working in field and the smaller ones were playing near the house. It was during the meal time that Lenzo had predicted big drops of rain began to fall. It was during the dinner that Lenzo had predicted big drops of rain began to fall from northeast. In northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen. Huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. The air was fresh and ये बादल बना दी. फिर लिखते हैं mountains of clouds could be seen approaching through the northeast. Big drops of rain began to fall. The air was fresh and sweet. The man went out. The air was fresh and sweet. The man went out for out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. Than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain. The air was fresh and sweet. The man went out for no other reason than to feel the pleasure of rain on his body. And when he returned, he exclaimed, "These are not raindrops falling from the sky, they are new coins." The air was fresh and sweet. The man Glancho went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on him, to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. When he returned, he exclaimed, "These aren't raindrops, they are new coins." The big coins are raindrops. These aren't raindrops, they are new silver coins. New coins. Big drops are 10 cent pieces. Big drops are 10 cent pieces, and the smaller ones are 5 cent pieces. They are new coins. The man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. The man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. And when he returned, he exclaimed that these aren't new coins, raindrops falling from the sky, they are new coins. The big drops are 10 cent pieces and the little ones are 5s. With a satisfied, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers draped in a curtain of rain. Wrapped in a curtain of rain. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flower wrapped in a curtain of rain. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flower as it is wrapped in a curtain of rain. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain very large hailstones began to fall. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain very large hailstones began to fall. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain very large hailstones began to fall. ऐसे ही विंड आई along with the rain. Large hailstones began to fall. These large hailstones truly resemble new silver coins. The boys exposing themselves to the rain ran out to collect the fruits. were exposing themselves to the rain and out to collect the guys. अरे बात कर ली फोन उठाई को नहीं किन्ना तो जगह ही को नहीं बेरो जगह ही को नहीं बेरो
तो दूसरी जगह गए देखो हैं कुछ आगे तुम्हें पाए बन गए
वो फोन ही को नहीं उठाओ कुछ guys, how many minutes? 20 minutes we've been done. And along with wind, big drops of along with suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. These truly resemble new silver coins. The boys exposing themselves to the rain ran out to collect the frozen pearls. It is really getting bad now, exclaimed the man. Lancho exclaimed that it was really getting bad there. I hope it passes quickly. It didn't pass quickly. For an hour the hail and rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. The field was white as if covered with salt. But सब कुछ बैड हो गया, exclaimed the man. However, the hail rained on the house, the garden, hillside, valley, garden. The field was white as if covered with salt. Field was white as covered with salt. Not a leaf remained on the trees. And the corn was totally destroyed. Not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone from the plants. Lance's soul was filled with sadness when the storm had passed. He stood in the middle of the field and said to his son, "A plague of locusts would have left more than this. The hail had left nothing. This year we will have no corn." That night was a sorrowful one. Nothing, there is no one who can help us. We will all go hungry this year. Kali Yuga. Not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone. The flowers were gone from the plants. Of all who lived in the middle of but in the hearts of all who lived in the solitary house in the middle of the valley there was a single hope from God, help from God. But in the hearts of all who lived in that solitary house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope from God. Solitary house, there was a single hope. Don't be so upset, even though it seems like a total loss. Remember, no one dies of hunger. No one dies of hunger. That's why they say no one dies of hunger. All through the night, Lancelot thought only of his one from God, whose eyes he has been instructed. He see everything, even what is deep in one's own conscience, 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 conscience,
A clear, a guilty conscience.
conscience, one's conscience, conscience, conscience,
Conscience. Conscience.
conscience,
Conscience.
conscience, 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 conscience. Lenzo was an ox of a bull. Lenzo was an Lenzo was an ox of a man working like an animal in the field. But still he knew how to write. The following Sunday at daybreak, he began to write a letter which he himself would carry to town and place in the mall. It was nothing less than a letter to God. Blanche was an ox of a man working like an but know how to write. On he following Sunday daybreak यानी the time in the morning when light first appears, dawn. Daybreak यानी dawn होता है. The following Sunday at dawn. He began to write a letter which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. It was nothing less than a letter to God. The following Sunday at daybreak, he went to write a letter and went which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. The place it was nothing less than a letter to God. He began to write a letter which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. Quantum of everything. It was nothing less than a letter to God. To God, he wrote, if you don't help me, my family would go hungry. यार लोगों के पास मेरे नंबर कैसे है? मेरे नंबर कैसे है रे? कौन दे रहा है मेरे नंबर? दादियों के पास मेरे नंबर, लड़कियों के पास हो तो फिर ही मान. दादियों के पास God, he wrote, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. I need 100 pesos. If you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this. I need 100 pesos in order to sow my field again and to live until the crop comes, because the hailstorm had left nothing. Currency of several, an inner sense of right and wrong, draped covered with locust insects which fly in big swarms, big swarms, groups. Amiable, friendly, and pleasant. Okay. He wrote to God on the envelope and put the letter inside, and still troubled, went down at the post office. He placed a stamp and dropped it. At the post office, he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox. One of the employees, who was a postman and also helped at the post office, went to his boss, laughing heartily, and showed him the letter to God. Never in his career as a postman had he known the address. The postmaster, who was a fat, amiable, friendly, and a pleasant fellow, also broke out laughing, but almost immediately he turned serious and tapping the letter on his desk. Commented, "What faith! I wish I had the faith of the man who wrote this letter, starting up a correspondence with God. Starting up a correspondence. 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 इंग्लिश में कर दो टाइप किसी विवरण के अनुरूप होना या उससे मेल खाना. Correspondence. Starting up a corresponding with God. What faith? I wish I had the faith of the man who wrote the letter. He turned serious and tapping the letter on his desk. So, in order not to shake the writer's faith in God, the postmaster came up with an idea. Answered the letter. But when he opened it, it was evident that to answer it, he needed something more than goodwill. God had made me to do something else. मेरी आवाज़ से कोई कुछ नहीं कर सकता. आई कैन स्पीक. मैं कितना बढ़िया बोल रहा हूँ. समृद्धि मैम ने भी कहा है. लैंग्वेज इज़ नॉट अ बैरियर. लैंग्वेज इज़ नॉट अ बैरियर. यू कैन डू इट माई फ्रेंड. यू कैन डू इट. लैंग्वेज इज़ नॉट रियली अ बैरियर. Why are you feeling ashamed of your own language? Feel proud. I can speak fluently like this. How can I do? I can. I am speaking this fluent English even I don't know. But now when I speak, I came to know that I can speak English fluently. Why I don't speak then I don't know. But in low voice I can't speak. I don't have the motivation. But when I speak loudly, I have the motivation that I can do it, so I will speak loudly. Why will not I speak loudly? I can do it. Then in order to not to shake the writer's faith in God, the postmaster came up with an idea. Answered the letter, but when he opened it, it was evident that to answer it, he needed something more than the goodwill. Ink and paper. But he stuck to his resolution. He asked for money from his employees. He himself gave part of his salary, and several other friends of his were obliged to give something for an act of charity. It was impossible for him to gather together the 100 pesos, so he was able to send the farmer only a little more than half. He put the money in an envelope addressed to Lanzo and with a letter containing only a single word as a signature, God. It was impossible for him to gather together the 100 pesos, so he was able to send the farmer only a little pesos, only a little more than half. The following Sunday, Lanzo came a bit earlier than usual to ask if there was a letter for him. It was the postman himself who handed the letter to him while the postmaster, experiencing the contentment of a man who has performed a good deed, looked on from his office. Lancho showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money. Such was his confidence. But he became angry when he counted the money. God could not have made a mistake, nor could he have denied Lancho what he had requested. Immediately Lancho went to the window to ask for paper and ink. On the public writing table he started to write with much wrinkling on of his brow. With much wrinkling of his brow caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas. On the public writing table he started to write with much wrinkling of his brow caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas. On the public writing table he started to write with much wrinkling of his brow caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas. When he finished, he went to the window to buy a stamp. मैं मक्खी दिख रही है क्या? दिख रही है, देखो मक्खी क्यों वहाँ से नहीं उठी? मेरा हाथ 190 डिग्री पे चला गया। हट जा मक्खी। On the public writing table he started to write with much wrinkling of his brow. When he finished, he went to window to buy a stamp which he licked and then affixed to the envelope with a blow of his fist. The moment the letter fell into the postmaster went to open it. It said, "God of the money that I asked for only 70 pesos. Send me the rest since I need it very much, but don't send it to me through the mail because the post office are a bunch of crooks." Something more than goodwill. Wrinkling of his brow. उसकी बहू की छुरी। बहू की छुरियाँ।
she tried to solve a difficult puzzle. 3. John wrinkled his brow, but he couldn't understand the instructions. Notice how the phrase is often used to convey a reaction to something perplexing or troubling. It's interesting to note the cultural context of this expression. While it's commonly used in English, similar expressions exist in many languages. Reflecting the universal nature of human expressions. Also, there are variations like furrow one's brow, which carries a similar meaning. And that's all about wrinkle one's brow. I hope this video has given you a clear understanding of this phrase and how it's used in English. Remember, learning idioms and expressions is a great way to enrich your language skills and understand the culture behind the language.
Let's see what is written in the OS1 about the chapter related to. So what's the page number 115? It means 115 to 122. Let's see how much we can do. The postmaster opened the letter expecting it to A and B say anguish for getting that money.
Find a language. Thanks for watching, and see you in our next video.
Always great mental pain, be full of suffering for getting, be accusing God of being miserly. Group of people who are dishonest, and corrupt. Dishonest and corrupt. What was the second letter written by Lanzo? Elaborate. Lanzo was hopeful and confident that he would receive 100 pesos from God. But when he found only 70 pesos, it made him unhappy, and as a result, he wrote the second letter to God, requesting help. Lanzo was hopeful and confident that he would receive 100 pesos from God. But when he found only 70 pesos, it made him unhappy, and as a result, he wrote. What's the time? 5:38:40. Reading the letter, the postmaster was but the contents of the letter didn't please him. Dismayed. Meaning तो बता देगा यार क्या दे देते हैं
आगे किताबें किसने ली मार्टिन ने की है ये सब
सोचा आपने की है उसने किया फिर
मार्टिन ये बताता है कि मार्टिन
अब एलेक्सा की ऐसी चीज़ बताऊंगा लोगों का दिमाग हिल जाएगा। हम तो बस वही सोचते हैं एलेक्सा ये गाना बजाओ, भजन बजाओ, ये सब करने के लिए इंडियंस को काम ही क्या है, बोर हो रहे हैं तो भैया एलेक्सा खाने में आज क्या बनेगा ये सब बता दो, तो ये चल रहा है। अब आपने इधर एक एलेक्सा रखा, एलेक्सा का इंटरनेट भी आप कनेक्ट नहीं कर रहे हैं, ठीक है। एलेक्सा के अंदर एक ट्रांसमिशन है, वो ट्रांसमिशन कनेक्ट 500 मीटर दूर में कोई भी दूसरा एलेक्सा होगा उसके साथ विदाउट ऑनलाइन गए भी कनेक्ट हो सकता है, और हर 500 मीटर भी एक अपना सिग्नल बना सकता है। इसका एक वो टेक्निकल वर्ड है, साइंस का जो स्टूडेंट है प्लीज लिख दो यार, मैं साइंस का नहीं हूँ। तो मान लो अपन ने इधर एलेक्सा रखा, ठीक है। अब मान लेते हैं जैसे 500 मीटर दूर पे गुड़गांव एग्जाम्पल लेते हैं, साइबर सिटी, ठीक है, प्लस उधर से 500 मीटर दूर पे, उधर से फिर मैं बोलता हूँ 500 मीटर, मान लो इस पे इंटरनेट नहीं, उस पे इंटरनेट नहीं, उस पे इंटरनेट नहीं, उसमें किसी ना किसी में तो होगा, जिस पे भी होगा एलेक्सा के ट्रांसमिशन में इतना पावर है कि एक भी अगर इंटरनेट है वो सबका डेटा ले सकता है। अब एलेक्सा की ऐसी चीज़ बताऊंगा लोगों का दिमाग हिल जाएगा। हम तो बस वही सोचते हैं एलेक्सा एक बीमार था।
आपको पता है दुनिया में ना 2 तरह की बीवियाँ होती है। मिलती कहीं नहीं, ये 2 तरह की होती है। पहली तरह की होती है कि अगर वो आप बीवी ने आपको आवाज़ लगा दी तो ऐसे इरिटेशन हो जाती है, किसने आवाज़ लगाई?
पूजा खेड़कर ने इतने झूठ बोले हैं लेकिन फिर भी अभी तक कोई भी पूजा का बाल भी बाका नहीं कर पाया। खेड़कर फैमिली की टोटल नेटवर्थ 100 करोड़ प्लस, लेकिन इस सब के बावजूद भी मैडम ने तो अपने मॉक इंटरव्यू में ये तक बोल दिया था कि उनकी एनुअल इनकम 0 है। अभी वो ऊपर से बोला तो ये जा रहा है कि कड़क कार्रवाई चालू है, पता लगाएंगे कि कहाँ पे क्या लूपहोल क्रिएट हो गया। बट मेरे हिसाब से ना स्पेसिफिकली 3 जगहों पर कुछ तो जोड़ हुआ। पहला, महाराष्ट्र के रेवेन्यू डिपार्टमेंट में किसी करप्ट ऑफिशियल ने पूजा को ओबीसी के अंडर नॉन क्रीमी लेयर वाला सर्टिफिकेट इशू करवा दिया, जिसे उसने फिर आगे यूपीएससी को देकर रिजर्वेशन के अंडर अपनी सीट ले ली। दूसरी पॉसिबिलिटी ये हो सकती है कि यूपीएससी में भी सेम किसी करप्ट ऑफिशियल ने पैसे लेकर पूजा का प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल से इशू विजुअली इम्पेयर्ड वाला सर्टिफिकेट एक्सेप्ट कर दिया होगा और उसे सिलेक्ट कर दिया। तीसरी पॉसिबिलिटी पॉलिटिकल लेवल पर हो सकती है, मतलब एक फोन कॉल गया हो सकता है किसी पॉलिटिकल लीडर का डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ पर्सनल एंड ट्रेनिंग को कि वो पूजा को वहां पर सिलेक्ट हो। पूजा खेड़कर ने इतने झूठ बोले
मुकेश अंबानी was
सबसे पहले तो ये बताइए आपने कितने का टिकट लिया है? शादी हुई आपको पहला गिफ्ट जो दिया था भाई साहब ने वो कितने का था?
रुको जरा सबर करो।
आप बताइए सर, आपको तो याद होगा जो गिफ्ट दिया था वो 15,000 का। ये देखिए कितनी बड़ी बात है, अपने खुद की पर्सनल बीवी को इन्होंने 15,000 का गिफ्ट दिया और दीपिका को देखने के लिए 4 लाख रुपए। हमारे पैसा ही होता है। सबसे पहले तो ये बताइए आपने कितने का टिकट लिया है?
पता नहीं लोग उत्तराखंड और हिमाचल क्यों जाते हैं, जबकि इस देश के बीच में ये ऐसी जगह है
भाई पेड़े बांट रहे हो?
पेड़े नहीं, खुशियाँ बांट दीजिए।
क्यों?
मेरी माँ कहती थी खुशियाँ बांटने से सब के सब लोग हमेशा हमेशा के लिए अपने हो जाते हैं।
आप लीजिए
भाई ये पेड़ा अजीब क्यों है थोड़ा?
So guys, आपने जी वैगन का नाम सुना होगा। या मैंने सभी जी वैगन
जब खड़े होते हैं गिर के फिर खा लेते हैं और फिर कोच के पास जाते हैं कहते हैं खाओ अपनी कसम देखते हैं ऐसे के ऐसे खाओ अपनी कसम पहले से ओलंपिक में वो चीजें हुई जिसकी आप कल्पना नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि भारतीय पैरा ओलंपिक में भाला फेंक खिलाड़ी नवदीप सिंह के अंदर विराट कोहली के अंदर आपको था तो साथी ने जब भाला फेंका तो साहिल
ये था सारा खाना जो हमें क्रिकेट
हाँ आपने अभी बताया कि सुल्तान बहुत बड़े शाहरुख के फैन हैं इन्होंने आपको कुछ डायलॉग मैंने सुना है मुझे मिलेगा शाहरुख के
अगर आप अपने दोस्त को बोलो भाई तुझे 500 रुपये रोज दूंगा लेकिन अगर मुझे
सुदेश जी आप बहुत टैलेंटेड हो। अरे कृष्णा में क्या रखा है? थोड़ा डांस ही अच्छा कर देता ना आपसे।
अगर आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया घूमने जाओ तो याद रखना वहाँ ऐसी छिपकली आप
बीता हुआ कल तुम्हारे दिमाग में और आने वाला कल तुम्हारे हाथ में। बीता हुआ कल तुम्हारे दिमाग में और आने वाला कल तुम्हारे हाथ में। इसमें क्या है, क्रेस्ट ऑफ लो हिल से देखा उसने राइप कॉर्न डॉटेड विथ फ्लावर्स एंड रिवर डॉटेड विथ फ्लावर स्काई नॉर्थ इज राउंड पॉट और एटलीस्ट अ सावर। और फिर वहाँ पर वुमेन वाज प्रिपेयरिंग सपर स्मॉलर चिल्ड्रन वर प्लेइंग near the house. The pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. Mountain of clouds north east, fresh sweet raindrops, new coins, hailstones, new silver coins, 10 cent pieces, 5 cent pieces, collect raindrops, meaning hailstones, spin उसके home, the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the valley, and the field was covered as it was covered with salt, and the field was white. वो उस वाले ने बढ़िया दी थी एक्सप्लेनेशन। bearing side to the I should go to my friends. Let us नहीं आएंगे